Hunter Biden, well, he wants some get back. He has now sought to subpoena Donald Trump and the former Attorney General of the United States, Bill Barr. Beautiful stuff here. Let me explain. Hunter Biden requested on Wednesday to subpoena former President Trump and former AG Bill Barr, along with other senior officials. Biden, who faces 3 federal gun charges, is demanding Trump and Barr turn over communications and documents concerning the president's son or his criminal investigation. The demands for documents, which must be approved by a judge, also extend to former Deputy Attorney General Richard Donahue and former Attorney General Jeffrey Rosen. Now, this is going to be an interesting dynamic. So the attorney wrote in the court filing, quote, Mr. Biden seeks specific information from 3 former DOJ officials and the former president that goes to the heart of his defense that this is possibly a vindictive or selective prosecution arising from an unrelenting pressure campaign beginning in the last administration in violation of Mr. Biden's Fifth Amendment rights under the Constitution. So let me explain the culture of a subpoena like this. 9 times out of 10, an attorney at this level with these types of leaders, they are not going to request things like this without having some indication that the information exists. Now, if they're able to track it down, if they're able to actually find the gun from the smoke, that's another story. But something has them on a trail. They are trying to find it, okay? There's more. So let's talk about the gun charges, all right? Biden's gun charges. He is accused of possessing a firearm while addicted to a controlled substance and failing to disclose drug use when seeking to buy a weapon. So on the application, it says, hey, are you on narcotics? No, I'm not, because if I say that, I'm not going to get the gun, okay? And this is the basis of one of the charges. Biden, who also acknowledged his struggles with addiction, pleaded not guilty. Republicans have long criticized the investigation into Biden, portraying his now defunct plea agreement as a sweetheart deal and lambasting prosecutors for not charging him with additional crimes in their subsequent indictment. All right, so let's put it up. Biden subpoena. The motion extensively references those criticisms, calling out by name House Oversight and Accountability Committee Chair James Comer and the House Ways and Means Chair Jason Smith. Biden also accused Trump and his congressional allies of mounting a sustained, almost nonstop public pressure campaign for prosecutors to bring charges. Now, you don't have to go too far to understand that connection. I mean, Trump literally was trying to call people who did not even live in the United States of America in order to do this, all right? So naturally, you would assume he has done it or did do it with local prosecutors on some level. So the committee, Comer's committee last week, as part of their impeachment inquiry, subpoenaed Hunter Biden and other members of the president's family. The GOP investigation into the Bidens has multiple prongs, including claims they were engaged in influence peddling, as well as claims that some money flowed to President Biden himself during his vice presidency. And the White House has vigorously denied any wrongdoing. So Biden's attorney will continue to say, it's a clear no measure of charges against Mr. Biden will ever be enough to appease Chairman Comer and Smith and their MAGA allies. Biden's attorneys wrote in their motion, as anyone can readily tell, it is not just pressure from within the Trump-era executive branch that is the problem. It is also incessant, unrelenting outside interference from congressional Republicans and their allies in the prosecutorial process, which is supposed to be independent, free from political interference. The motion continued, quote, undoubtedly, the current political climate has now jeopardized that long-standing and fundamental American principle. I don't think anybody thought this was not a political dynamic on some level. So everyone politicized it. And the most famous thing in America at one point was Hunter Biden's crack pipe. Well, that's because Hunter Biden was a proxy, obviously, to the political powers connected to now President Biden and everybody else in that regime. So he's a proxy for this type of political attack, no question about it. Did he do something illegal? Well, yes, it's on camera. You can't say he didn't. I believe that people who have an addiction have a sickness and they should be helped, all right? That is my personal belief, and I think it should be reflected in our law and how we deal with it. But now you literally have a connection between prosecutors, oversight members, and possibly a defendant who happens to be the son of their political opponent, being Biden. All right, Francesca, how do you see this?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a really important point. You know, we've been waiting for, at least I've been waiting for something like this, but there is no way to depoliticize it because, you know, at the time, Joe Biden's running for president, Hunter Biden is his son. Now Joe Biden is president, Hunter Biden's still his son, but when does Hunter Biden get his day, right? When do we actually figure out all the ways that the former president used the government to specifically what they always accuse, you know, the other side of doing, weaponizing justice, weaponizing government against private citizens at the time and currently private citizens. So this subpoena is great. And what's so funny about it is that this could have all gone away had Hunter Biden, had there just been like that plea deal that Republicans were so against. No, we've got to do more investigating. Okay, you want to keep this case open? Then you're going to have to get all these documents and all of the emails, all the ways that you tried to dig up dirt that wasn't there, including blackmailing a foreign president, digging up dirt on the Biden family. We're gonna need to see that. And mind you guys, 91 criminal indictments here, none of them have to do with the kinds of meddling into the Biden family's life, right? I mean, he was impeached once, but there's been no actual legal repercussions. So I'm fascinated by this. I wonder what we're gonna see come of it, but it's just, you have to draw a line somewhere. And I'm so glad you're describing this because it's like, yeah, the very people who could be overseeing Hunter Biden's fate might also have been implicated in digging up dirt about Hunter Biden. How is any of that on the up and up?
It is quite fascinating. All right, we'll bring you updates as they come.